Your next purchase might not be made by you at all. It could be made by your AI agent, negotiating, choosing, and paying on its own. Coinbase, Google, and Stripe have all launched protocols to make this real in 2026. Now, joining me to unpack it is Akshay Chopra, Payments Committee Co-Chair at the MENA Fintech Association, and also he's a Managing Partner at 237 Ventures. Akshay, welcome to Wall Street to MENA.
Thank you for having me back, Ragda.
Of course. First of all, agentic commerce, agentic payments, everyone's throwing this term around. Now, what does that mean in simple terms?
So it's an evolution of AI. You can think of it as that. So right now, everyone has AI helping them make decisions, but agentic AI can actually help you not just make decisions, but it can make decisions for you and act on those decisions. So for example, right now, if you're going for a trip, I'm going to Vietnam, for example, AI can help me think about what to do, which hotel to choose. But an agentic AI will be able to choose that hotel for me based on what I like, my budget, etc., and make that booking on its own and just give me the confirmation.
Okay, so it will do everything for you.
Basically.
Not just
based on the rules that you provided.
Okay, so how does that actually different from digital payments that we already use every day?
So digital payments, if you look at how they've been evolving, one of the things we've been doing in this industry is trying to minimize the time someone spends in the payment moment, right? So from taking out cash to swiping your card to tapping and one click, etc. But we have already gotten to the point in payments where it's invisible, right? So if you book an Uber, for example, you don't really make a payment. It happens in the back.
Automatically, yeah.
Exactly. But the next level of that is where even the moment of commerce becomes invisible. So for example, you tell your AI, I want to go home. And it chooses, okay, given his budget, given how urgent it is, given his preferences, should I book him Uber or Careem? Let me check the different options out there. Or should I ask him to take the metro because there's surge pricing? And it simply tells me at the end of it, here's the car waiting outside, or here's your ticket for the metro.
Okay, that's very interesting. Now, you just gave us a real example of how someone can really use agentic AI. But isn't it also scary to put all your information out there?
Absolutely. I think data ownership and data privacy is something you have to be thinking about. I mean, one thing I love to say is that human beings today start generating data from the time they're in the womb, right? Your ultrasound images and vitals, literally you start generating data throughout your life, starting even before you were born. But you have to be very aware of how that's being used. The permissions you're giving, not just different companies, but also different AI models on how they can use your data. So I strongly recommend even taking baby steps, like checking your phone's privacy settings in terms of which app has access to which data. If you use a chatbot like a LLM, ChatGPT, Claude, etc., also check what data is it storing about you and keep refreshing it every now and then.
Yeah, speaking about ChatGPT and also Gemini now Salesforce just put shopping agents live inside of these chat bots. Now, our merchants have even plugged in yet with that?
So merchants would love any way to actually sell something, right? So whether it's via a website or whether it's via a chatbot. Now, a lot of the advanced merchants are already looking at things like LLM optimization. So back then we used to do search engine optimization. Now you're optimizing for LLMs. So how can an commerce agent find me, know that my product is better and choose it for the customer? So you're kind of living in an era where the machines are doing the shopping. So how do you convince the machine to shop your product?
Yeah. And where do you think this hits first? Consumers or businesses?
I actually think the business sector has tremendous applications. And I'll tell you why. Business already have procurement rules, supplier rules, budgets, all that kind of very hard-coded process rule stuff, which you and I don't as consumers. And that's exactly the kind of data and rules that an AI loves. So if you're a hotel and if you have to order 50,000 towels, you can simply tell your AI agent that, hey, I want this to happen. It knows your budgets. It knows what kind of suppliers you're looking for, their ESG ratings, their background checks, etc. It'll do all that for you. It could even negotiate with those suppliers, with their agents, find the best deal for you, raise the purchase order, everything is done.
Wow. I mean, that's really interesting for someone who wants to have this automated AI in their corner as well. Now, also, AI agents making purchases on their own, paying, choosing, doing everything for you, doesn't that also open another door for fraud, for AI fraud?
Absolutely. And in this world, fraud evolves from someone impersonating me to someone manipulating my AI, right? So a fraudster could try to pretend that it's my AI, or it can fool my AI into thinking I want to purchase that product. It could fool my AI to increase the limits that I had set for it in terms of spend limits, etc. There's a lot of fraud that could happen. And so now in this new era of fraud, one has to see whether it's genuinely the individual or it's the authorized AI operating with the right intent and the right controls.
Okay. Speaking of the authorized AI, I saw something about people talking about maybe AI agents should have an ID check. How does that even work?
So there's a lot of great work being done by the payments players like Visa, MasterCard, Stripe on what are the standards. Like if Ragda were to give authorization to her agent, what does that look like? How do we transmit it to the merchant, right? And so there is a lot of standards being put in place to check things like, is this indeed the right agent? It's not a fraud. Is this indeed given the authorization? Does it have the ability to pay at this level? And even things like, is the merchant the right merchant, or is it someone trying to manipulate into the AI from buying from it by using false reviews or those kind of things?
Yeah, and speaking of fraud, even like with the numbers now, 78% of banks expect fraud to spike from the AI agents now, or agentic AI. Now, before this goes mainstream at the moment, what rules need to exist out there to protect consumers and protect also businesses?
Okay, so let me give you like a real life example, right? So it's my mother's birthday coming up not long from now. Right now,
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. I will convey her. Now, in the current world, I will have to go on Amazon or walk around in a mall, think about what I gifted her in the past, what she likes, and buy her that gift. Now, in the future with an AI agent, I can tell her that, hey, this is her birth date, this is my budget. Look at her Instagram, see what her interests are. Look at her Amazon history if she gives me permission. By the way, I won't actually do this, but in theory, right?
So if she listens now, she will know how you choose the gift.
Exactly. It's very impersonal, right? So it can do all this in theory, and it can do a great job, and it'll just have every year a good gift will deliver to her. But now, what if that gift is wildly inappropriate? Or what if it spent twice as much as I wanted it to? Or, it broke some of the conditions that I had set for it.
Yeah.
Whose fault is it? Is it my fault because I authorized the agent? Is it the agent's provider's fault, like the AI company? Is it the bank or the card network's fault? So when the human is completely removed from the transaction and it's a machine-to-machine transaction, the complete question of liability changes. Right?
That's what I want to ask too about liability. How does that work exactly? Who's in the wrong when an AI agent makes a mistake?
So if you look at the Visas and MasterCards, right, the payment networks, they have since the 1950s been putting out very clear global rules for who is liable when. So when is a merchant liable? If a fraud happens, when is the merchant liable, the cardholder liable, the bank liable, etc. So I fundamentally believe that they have the capability to also take that skill set and that ability to set rules into this new world. And there is no one easy answer. It will be a very complicated answer, and it will be a set of rules and liability shift in a world where it's just machine-to-machine payments.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. It's very interesting to hear all of that today. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, Ragda.